Couch Co-op is full of douchebags. Couch Co-op. Couch Co-op. Couch Co-op.
Hello, Couch Co-opers, Couch Potatoes, and Couch Codependents. This is the Couch Co-op Show. I'm Ian, and it's just Dave with me tonight.
Oh yeah, just
Oh,
a
yeah.
two-pack.
Hi.
When we're this strong, you don't need much
Yeah,
more.
you don't. That's it. This is gonna be a toxic episode. No.
What you saying, man?
Yeah, I know. How you doing, Dave?
I'm good. Yourself?
Yeah, pretty good. It's a quiet weekend of lots of video game playing, so I
Yeah.
have all the chatting to do.
Not so much on my part, but we did get a little bit in earlier, so.
I think
good.
Jared was gonna try, but he had to do some tech support, late night tech support. I think at a mother-in-law's, and so because he was away, also he played video games all day with me. So I think there's some guilt, and he feels the need to not be here with us tonight. So yeah, we're going to do the video game thing. How do we start this? Oh, yes. What happened this day in video game history? Dun, dun, dun.
Oh man! So I looked, and there really wasn't much.
Pretty quiet.
Yeah. So, I mean, Street Fighter 6 got released in most countries other than the US a year ago.
Oh, wow. It's been a year. Holy shit.
Yeah, that was one I saw. And then Tekken. Which one version is it? I'm just trying to find it now. There's like tons of stuff. Tekken 7, that was it. That was released on Windows and the download release in the US.
Fascinating. Fighting games in the summertime.
Yeah, 7 years ago. But so I was looking through and I was looking for stuff that I was like, I have games I've played, etc., etc. And there's a lot of stuff released today, but a lot of it's crap. But one that caught my eye was the PlayStation 3 version of Red Faction Guerrilla.
Oh,
It was
hey.
released 15 years ago. I
Wow.
remember playing that game like it was yesterday. It was such a fun game where you could run around and I played it. I had it on the 360 and I just loved the open world of it and destroying the bases. Needless to say, if you haven't played it, it's a solid game.
I actually bought it, the remastered. It's called the remastered edition.
I saw that.
I have it. You can pick it up for usually pretty cheap for PS4.
Yeah, if
And,
you haven't played that game, it's a lot of fun.
I started to play through it again, and it is a lot of fun. For some reason, I bought it cheap, played through like the first quarter of it, and it's like, am I really going to keep playing this? Why did I buy this?
Yeah, I remember I didn't platinum it, but I definitely completed all the side quests because I don't think platinum was a thing on the Xbox 360, and I wasn't that concerned with trophies,
Yeah, it's what it's 100% achievement.
Yeah, I think I did 100% achievement it.
Well, there you go.
So yeah, very good game. If you haven't played it, but otherwise, it must be a really, really kind of quiet day.
Well,
Going back in history.
I think back in the old days, I think nowadays is different because games release all the time nowadays. But back in the old days, summer was kind of the lull, kind of running into E3. It was pretty quiet, and then all the game announcements in E3, and then the fall would pick up.
I think that's the bit I get from this segment is if you look, especially it's like in the 90s, there's very few games released around this time of year. I mean, I'm looking from there's maybe 15 games in total from the beginning of time to 1999.
Mm-hmm.
And even though most of those aren't games that I remember playing or remember seeing them released, if you know what I mean.
Right.
So, yeah, I think it's changed.
I mean,
It
this week,
definitely used to be a fall to Christmas, and then you'd get a few stragglers in like January, February that just for some reason didn't make Christmas like they were hoping to.
now every day is just video game day. Like this week, we have what is supposedly the final expansion for Destiny coming out. There's some other games dropping.
Aren't they shutting the servers down for that for
No,
2 days or
no.
something?
Oh yeah. Second and third.
Yeah.
They're closing. It'll be offline.
Oh, will that be later tonight then?
Probably.
Yeah.
Um,
Just as I've got playing it again.
It's also, I mean, I don't know. We're gonna talk about this some more probably later, but it's wild.
Yeah.
Also, that's the first time in this expansion that you know how usually when you're in the open world, there's a bunch of other people around. This next expansion is not going to be like that. You're going to be alone in it. You can play co-op with your friends, but there's not going to be other people in it. It's like crazy.
Yeah, because we were playing earlier and we were in the city and there's just like random people like doing whatever they're doing. They're not playing with you. They're just going.
But you remember how you would
Definitely not.
patrol the moon and there would be other people patrolling the moon with you? So like those kind of open world areas where those kind of areas in this new expansion, it won't be like that. I'm very curious about it. So
anyway. I wonder if that will make the world feel smaller or just
I don't know if they're trying to focus it. I mean, my understanding is it closes the story, the original story that started way back with the original Destiny. They're trying to wrap it all up in this final expansion. Whether that is the end of Destiny 2, who knows? But
have they announced Destiny 3 or
no? So no one knows. They haven't announced anything. So aside from this, we have no idea what's going to happen.
So yeah, I mean, that's kind of worrying in a little way because usually, like games nowadays, they announce them months, years in advance of release, don't they?
But that's also problematic because then they don't come out.
True, it is. It is that, and maybe Bungie's just.
I think they're smarter than that, but all right. Well, that's this day in gaming history. The quiet Junes, the dog days of summer. I don't know.
Yeah, there's nothing I love more though than this time of year. If it's a like really hot, bright day outside, then closing the curtains on the front room, making it really dark and cool in the front room, grabbing a cool like soda or beer, and playing a first-person shooter. There's just something about that. Yeah, like I remember getting the Xbox 360 and playing the Halo on that. I remember going round to yours and playing the Resistance on the PlayStation 3. There's just something about like it's really bright and nice outside, and you just like close all the curtains and it's like dark and you can't tell what time it is. So
for sure,
June video gaming.
Just lose yourself. All right. Well, I guess we move on to the next segment, which is Buy, Try, Die. Dr. Dave's demo. Did you demo something wonderful this weekend?
I did, and so last week I played Gundog Soul Soldier, which was a very green screen adventure game. So I found that a lot of the demos are like very JRPG or adventure game kind of stuff. So I just downloaded this one because it was the name was like Trust No One, and it was a little computer screen with like green screen graphics. So I downloaded it and I played the demo, and it's a point and click adventure game where you're looking at the puzzles, and I managed the demo is only the first like 2 puzzles, maybe 3 if you call the second one like a 2-parter, but it seemed pretty interesting. You like meet someone in Kiev, and then they don't show up for the meeting, but they've left you like messages to decode.
Mm-hmm.
And so the first one's relatively easy because they've written a locker number and a code in the bottom right hand corner, and that gets you the second note. And the second note is it's got like it's got stuff on it. I think Jarrod would really enjoy it. The second one, to kind of solve it, you end up looking at the way he signs off the letter. You end up, if you look into it, it gives you the clue to get to the right place to do it. So pretty interesting game. It's only $1.99 on Steam and $3.99 on PlayStation 5. I mean, it's not graphically, it's not anything special, but if you want a pretty good puzzle game, it seemed like it definitely reminded me of the old point and click adventures, but without the random looking for the pixel that activates something kind of stuff. It was more like read the letter and really read it and try again and read it again.
So is this similar to the one last week?
A lot less vocabulary because you're kind of following letters from a guy that's written them that you were meant to meet. So it's more like detective-y. And it's from what I've read, it's a little like AI company that's like, and the guy's gone missing and all the rest of it.
Is the style very similar to the last one though, like the way it looks graphically?
No, it's more of a comic book style.
Okay.
But more in like traditional comic book style. It seemed pretty good. I mean, I'm not sure I would necessarily. To be quite honest, it's the kind of game that if I was going to play it, I'd want to probably play it on my mobile phone. And then the other reason it's relatively cheap is I think the puzzles are hard, but there aren't that many of them because there's a walkthrough video on YouTube. I looked afterwards, and like the complete game walkthrough was 20 minutes. So,
does it come with a platinum trophy?
I don't know. I didn't look at that.
20-minute platinum. Let's go.
But yeah, so it's kind of one of those games where it's like, you probably only play it once,
right?
And it'll definitely be about the story and the puzzles.
Let's see here. If it's $3.99 and it's 20 minutes long, that's not bad. I mean, you're paying $5-6.
It's $1.99 on Steam.
Oh, there you go.
Just like
So like but you're paying $5, $6 for a beer, and that's maybe 10 minutes.
Yeah,
I'm just trying to equate.
I also feel like if you played it and you didn't cheat, you probably get a couple of hours out of it because the first puzzle took me a few moments to get, and then I was like, I looked at one thing and to look for the locker number. Then I was like, and I spotted it in the letter. Then the second one that took a long time because I was like, the way he signed off the letter, and I was like, and then
all right.
I don't want to spoil it for people, so
it's good. You'd tell people to try it. Go check out the demo.
Yeah, I would try it, and to be quite honest, it's cheap enough that if you like, the demo's only the first two puzzles, but if it intrigues you, why not? I mean, at $3.99 on the PlayStation or $1.99 on Steam, it's kind of it might not be the greatest game you ever play, but it's an interesting little game, and I don't know how the story is, and I didn't look up any reviews. So, it definitely is one of those games. If the story's done well, it would be really interesting. So,
what's the name of it again?
Trust No One.
Trust No One. Cool.
Channel your inner X-Files.
There you go. All right. Thank you, Dave. All right. Well, today I figured we'll just. I have played a lot of stuff. I know Dave hasn't played that much stuff, but we played a little bit today, and but I've beaten some stuff, played some stuff. I was hoping that Jarrod would be on too, but he didn't make it. So we're just gonna have a regular beat list what you've been playing, game chatty chat episode. So no special topic unless something comes up. So that's what we're gonna do. You know, short and sweet. So I imagine you haven't beaten anything this in the few.
I
don't know.
did beat something.
Oh, you did.
I did beat all the challenges for this season of Rocket League.
Oh yeah, buddy. God damn! And I didn't even think you were playing that much. I haven't seen you on very
I didn't
often.
think I was too, and then I was like, I've just got to get like one tournament and
Hardcore.
save a couple more shots, and then I'm there.
Awesome.
So I was just like, it's one of those games that, you know, I'll play it a little bit. And to be quite honest, to beat the season, it's usually best to just ignore it for the first week or two, or the first like 2 releases, because a lot of them end up stacking. It's like get 10 saves in the match, and then in the next one will be get 15 saves. So if you wait, then you can double up the rewards, so it doesn't take as long. But yeah, that's about all I've beat this week.
How many times have you done that now, though?
That's only the second time, I think.
Oh, but you've been going after it for a while, though. No?
Yeah, probably like in the last year or two.
Yeah.
Like that's the funny thing. It's like not something I did before. You know, before it's just I enjoy switching on that game and just playing it to relax for a few, you know, half hour, an hour after work.
It's almost a perfect game.
Yeah, it is.
I forget how high it rated on our. It was pretty high though.
Yeah.
No, that's cool.
How about you?
I've beaten a few things.
Your meat stick?
My meat stick for one, dude, just brutally, just you wouldn't even recognize it as a meat stick right now. No, Jesus, see, toxic.
I'm so familiar with yours.
Exactly. So on my PSP app on my phone, I beat Tekken Dark Resurrection, which is basically Tekken 6, I believe.
So you're still really heavily into the PSP.
Oh, it's best. It's like having a PlayStation 2 on my iPhone. It's great. I love it. I have so many.
I can see how you'd love that as well, with like, because those games are like 8 hours to complete.
And I have this, and I just do this, and it's like playing a real video game. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. I love it. I can't wait to go on trips this summer, and just be like,
Is it reminding you of what made you fall in love with video games?
Well, at least like the PS2 generation and some of like the more simple, straightforward video game stuff. Yeah, and you know, the racing games are fun.
A good story told well.
I mean, the stories are okay. They're not as told as well as they are nowadays. But I mean, just games is for game's sake, I guess, maybe.
Yeah.
Like there's less focus on the story. Like they want to be more focused, but I feel like more. And I don't even really play those games. Like this is like Tekken's a fighting game. There's kind of shit story, but I'm playing it for the fighting game stuff, which is great. And then I'm playing racing car games like Ridge Racer, and there's a MotorStorm Arctic Freeze. Wasn't on PS2.
Yeah, there's a bunch of games on the PS. Like, unless you had one back in the day, there's a bunch of games that came out on the PSP that were like really solid games that would have done really well on the PlayStation 2, or deserve a remaster.
And then one I've never played was Metal Gear Portable Ops. That's never been released on anything but PSP. So I haven't started it yet, but I'm hoping to play it soon on like a trip, like when.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I remember there was that Metal Gear game that only came out on the PSP.
There's like a few. There's the 2 card games, the Metal Gear Acid games, which I'm not sure I'm gonna try because I'm not really into card games. I might try it, but I'm not sure. And then Peace Walker.
You're not really into card games, but you're really into Metal Gear games,
so
you probably will try. Don't lie.
You're probably right. And then there's Peace Walker, but Peace Walker I have played, so. But Portal Ops was never ported, so like I'm going to definitely play that. So like when we go camping, when I get drugged out to camp, with my wife and her family, I'm gonna be playing that. That's what I'm gonna have actual video games. It's not like shitty mobile games or something that requires, like, I had fun with Diablo Immortal, but it kind of requires internet signal, even from your phone.
Yeah, that's, I suppose that's the other thing about these games is once you downloaded them, you can be wherever.
Exactly, as long as I have power.
No matter if your phone signal, as long as you got one of those USB charging batteries,
exactly,
you're good to go.
I'm good. So yeah, the Tekken PS of all the emulation I've been doing, the PSP one's been getting the most play. I mean, the Nintendo stuff's cool. It's kind of nostalgic.
Yeah,
not really, but like Ninja Turtles, Brawlers, and stuff, they're fun. But I actually see myself beating games on this PSP one, so that's cool.
Yeah, the PSP games are young enough that they still hold up, kind of thing. They're not
young
too
enough,
far
but they're
away
still
from like.
I mean, we say that, but they're like really. they're. It's a while ago.
It is a while ago, but by the same token, they, like there's some PlayStation 2 games that still play really well. I mean,
and then on your screen, it doesn't. It looks normal. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's not. It's just,
you're not
I don't know.
distracted by the graphical fidelity one way or the other.
It's great. So there's that, and then as you know, I've been playing a lot of Destiny. I think in the last couple weeks, I've put 36 hours in as of today. So I beat Lightfall expansion and I beat the Beyond Light expansion. The Lightfall one I liked not as much, but the Beyond Light one I liked quite a bit. I really enjoyed that one, and now I have to
little with you,
and then I have to do the Witch Queen. That's the other one that we were given free, so that's the next one I'm gonna beat. So, but yeah, I've been playing a lot of Destiny, dude.
I feel like the only problem I have with it is not that it's good. It's just like
it's a lot.
It's like jumping in the deep end and drinking from a fire hose.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, for sure.
When you first come back to it, if you haven't played it since the original release or maybe the first expansion pack, it's just like, wow.
Like any MMO, if you were to jump into World of Warcraft right now, or like fucking Elder Scrolls, any of these games that have had a life for like 10 years. Well, I mean, Destiny 2's only been like what 2, 6, 7 years now?
That now?
I think 7 years. Yeah. Destiny 2's been around.
Oh yeah, 2017. So not
7 years
long ago.
But but the cool thing about it is that the content from the original Destiny is in Destiny 2. So then you add some of that content in, and it really is just Destiny. I'm surprised they never really rebranded it back to just Destiny, because it does have the Vault of Glass. It does have a bunch of the strikes from the original game, which is so funny because like last night, what was it? Not last night. It was yesterday when Ryan and I were playing together, and it's like, oh, I know this strike. Oh shit, man, dude, I remember grinding this out, just grinding this fucking thing out over and over and over and over.
I had a few times like that when I've only played an hour or two in the last week, but I had a few times where it's like, oh yeah, I remember you turn left here and that's how you get to where you're going, kind of.
Right.
It's funny, like muscle memory.
But yeah, when you can get through all the menus and currencies and rewards and different types of ways to earn things and the amount of quests, when you get just into the basic game, the game is just so strong still that I'm hooked. I'm gonna buy I haven't bought a single expansion for the game, and I think I bought Destiny 2. I know you got it for free, but I think I bought it cheap for like $10 when it came down in price, and I bought a disc. I think I bought a disc copy.
Yeah, you were never too hot on it when it first came out. Like it wasn't a bad game, but I know I think you preferred OG Destiny, didn't you?
Yeah. See, I did buy a disc copy for PS4. So I bought this for like $8 something, I think. Honestly, $8.99 on Amazon a year later after it had already come out, and then everyone got it for free. And then PS5 came out and they did the upgrade for free. So I hadn't played it since like 2018. This version. It's vastly. It's so different. It's so vastly different.
I think I played it a month or two after they gave it on PSN, and I beat the Destiny 2 story, and now I come back to it. It's a totally different game. There's a lot going on.
and I never bought or tried. None of the expansions, and I think there's like 6 expansions and like a 7th one coming. So like there's so much additional content that is just so like you get into, and it's just like I remember complaining, and I remember everyone complaining in the kind of in the original Destiny and then Destiny 2. It's like, this is all we get. Well, it's just like now you look at it, it's like Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah, I mean you come back now and it's like, where do I start?
I know it's wild.
Even like as someone who played the original release of Destiny 2 when they gave that for free, it's like this game has totally changed from that point. I mean, there's just so much
something
content.
I should have told you, and I'll tell you now, that a good way to kind of reacclimate to the game, and you can still kind of get rewards, is like when you go to that director, and it's like the open space up at the top right.
I did that. I did 1 or 2 missions.
It says
and
timeline.
Let you do them again and again.
It's the timeline, and it lets you play kind of a truncated story of the whole Destiny. So like you can start, and you kind of get the main story beats of each mission, so you can play through that, and it's like, oh, okay, now I'm up to speed. Now I can go back in and just play shit.
I read the descriptions for the first mission because some of it's just descriptive.
Yeah. Because it's not.
And then I played like 1 or 2 of I think I got the first screen's worth of missions out of the way, and I need to go back and play it. But next time I logged on, you were on, so I figured we'd just do something else.
Yeah, because it's like when I first started, I was like, where do I even start? I was like, oh my god. And then I found that. I was like, okay, I'll just do this. So I did that all the way through. I was like, okay, and I got some new gear, and I like kind of got re-familiar with the game. And then I was like, okay, well, now if I just go to this planet, and it says main campaign, you start the main campaign, and then you just follow the campaign around. And I was like, oh, okay, I did play a truncated version of this, but now I'm getting the full story. I'm getting better gear. And it's just like, I don't know. It sucked me back in. It's just, that's how good of a game it is, ultimately. It is...
It still feels really good.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's wild.
I haven't played much of it, but it's as a shooter, it
popping heads is just doesn't get old.
Yeah, I mean, I came in with you and someone else, and I was pretty low level compared to you guys, but I didn't feel totally underpowered.
You're still killing people.
Like, I could still see the energy bars go down when I shot him. It's like, okay, yeah, this guy's going to take all my ammo, but by the same token, it's like, this is fun.
So yeah, I'm going to be playing that. I really enjoy it. And
so they shut down the servers tomorrow, do they, or tonight?
Yeah, 2nd and 3rd. I'm not exactly sure what the times, but probably tonight. I'm surprised it's not shut. I thought it was 2nd and 3rd, but maybe it from.
Yeah, so we got a last minute reprieve.
Yeah, and then it drops on Tuesday, and
it looks like June the 3rd. So tomorrow is server maintenance, and then
I'm pretty sure didn't they have a graphic though that said 2nd and 3rd on it? I swear.
Yeah, they did, but it's, the other thing is I'm looking at the website and it's in like UTC, which I'm like, I don't know what time zone that is.
I also feel like there's a lot of people in there right now trying to get stuff done before the season stuff because some of the stuff's going to get wiped. Now, some of the currency stuff gets wiped, like legendary shards and stuff, and it reboots.
They also tend to. There's planets that go away, aren't there?
They archive stuff, or they put stuff in the vault.
Yeah,
and
so
they'll pull other stuff out. It just depends.
So, our time zone, it's 9 a.m. tomorrow, and it goes through June the 4th till midday. So.
Gotcha.
But you might be able to log in and start downloading it before then. So.
Oh yeah, if you pre-order it, yeah.
Yeah, I mean they'll let you download the update. This servers might not be back up, but.
Well, honestly, it's probably going to update everyone's. It just won't be unlocked for you until you buy it. because I think that's how it works.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting that they need to pull the servers down to upgrade it. It's like, because most of the other updates, they've never done that.
Yeah, that's which makes me wonder about this new kind of open world thing where it isolates people. I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah, it's very strange because most games, to pull the servers down for 2 days, that's quite a long time, really, in modern gaming.
Maybe there's some stuff they've needed to do for a while, and they just felt like it's probably time.
Maybe they've just held off and been like, oh, it gets to the point where you got enough bug fixes. It's like, well,
yeah, who knows?
Yeah.
And the new game and the new expansion looks like it's the first time they're actually introducing all new enemy types, because usually it's just been the Vex and the
just triple the cards in a different way.
Yeah, this is a brand new enemy types, and then it's hits pretty hard on nostalgia because it kind of remixes some of the. Because you're going inside the Traveler, and it's kind of a trippy thing, and there's like all this kind of weird.
Oh, nice.
So like you're gonna get to go to the old tower from the original game, not the new tower.
Yeah.
That's current. I don't know. There's gonna.
I haven't read anything about this expansion, and I'm not like super hyped for it. But by the same token, I see you playing it. I see other people playing it, and it's like I might actually give this one a try. I'm not 100% convinced I'm going to, but
no, that's fine.
Yeah.
But also, I look at it as like I never gave Destiny 2 any money. You know, I gave it like $10, and then
I never gave Destiny 1 any money other than the original game and Destiny 2. So yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like I bought the original game for full price. I didn't even bother with the second game, and then but now
Can you buy it right now, or is it not?
Yeah, no, you can pre-order it. Yeah, I was actually going to. I just hadn't done it yet, just so it was ready to go.
And it's $60, is it?
No, I think the base expansion is $49.99, and you can get collector's editions that comes with silver and other stuff.
Yeah, you get like some bonus
seasonal pass stuff. But yeah, I think the base version is $49.99.
Sweet.
So, but yeah, I'm excited.
We're going to turn this back into the Destiny podcast.
I think we just did. But no,
it's only been 14 years since the original came out.
But I spent all day Saturday, a lot of Saturday after, like 4 or 5 hours playing with Ryan on Saturday, and then I played all this morning earlier this day, probably another 4 or 5 hours with Jarrod, and then I played like an hour and a half with you just before we got on here. So it's been fun. I don't know.
So next, like in 2 or 3 days time, it'll be Tony Death. And then, so
I am curious.
Take some time off work.
I am curious if Tony Death is going to get. I mean, you don't. I am curious if he's going to jump back in.
This is catnip for him.
It is his catnip, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. But yeah, I love it. I really enjoy it. I've got it. Put its hooks in me. I don't know. I used to have this. I guess I used to have this thing where like Destiny 1 is superior. And Destiny 2 wasn't my thing. I wasn't really, but I think Destiny 2 really worked out all that shit, and I think Destiny 2 is pretty dope. So,
I think I agree with you though. Like Destiny 1, it just felt right, and Destiny 2 never. Like when I first played it, it didn't flow quite as well as Destiny 1. Like the controls didn't feel quite as on point.
I think it all feels on point now.
I think the other thing I missed when I played like Destiny 2 the first time round was, obviously we just put loads of hours into Destiny 1, so we had like all the weapons. What was the breaker sniper rifle and?
Well, there's the other thing though is that in Destiny 1 there was just such a finite amount of weapons and gear.
Yep.
Destiny 2 has so much weapons and gear. I feel like if you were to keep playing, Dave, once you get to a certain point, like you're just getting exotics constantly. And it's just like, I don't know which ones are more powerful than the others. I don't really feel like there is. The other thing that's crazy about it in Destiny 2 is that the game will randomly give different roles to the same exotic. So you could buy the exotic from Xur, or you could and you'll have it, and you can unlock it, and then it'll have better stats, like just basic stats, not like power level, but like basic stats. And it's just like, oh well, I want this one instead of that one. So you break it down, or I don't know. It's kind of wild the way they've kind of changed the whole exotic thing. It's very crazy. So like, and there's some legendaries that are better than exotics. Like you run some legendaries that are just, and then you can level those up to masterwork and make them. This is like all old news to Destiny people, so I apologize to any old Destiny people listening and being like, "Oh my God, where have you been, dumbass?" No, but all you people that haven't played Destiny in a long time, I don't know. I think it's fucking great. There's still some shit that I have no idea what the fuck it does, and I'm still trying to figure that shit out. So because there's just too much, but there's a part of my brain that it kind of enjoys that right now. Sometimes you kind of like,
yeah, you enjoy the drinking from the fire hose.
Yeah, right. It's like, yeah, Anyway,
it's like there's so much going on.
But yeah, you don't need to drink it all. You can just drink a little bit, and then shift the other side.
Just the tip.
Just underneath, and then on the top. You don't have to take it all. Anyway, toxic. Other games I've played. Have you played anything else, Dave?
I think I talked about it last week. I played some Spider-Man 2.
And you gave up on that? You returned it to the library already?
Yeah, I returned it. I don't know. I just looked at it and I was like, really? Probably not going to play this. Well, I just wasn't infused to play it. And,
right.
I mean, I feel like about a lot of video games. And it's sad because it's probably a decent game. Like the hour or so I played, I really quite enjoyed it, and it was a good video game. It was, there wasn't inherently anything wrong with it. It just felt like retreading the same path. So,
not to go back to Destiny, but I will. I think the funny thing about that is like, Destiny serves two purposes. Like, if you want to sit there and play the game through the campaign and learn about the story, you can. But if you just want to bypass all that and just go around and shoot shit, it does a really good job of just dropping you into a playlist or something and just killing things. And sure, the story's going on, but it's not relevant to that.
Yeah,
you're just chasing the power grind. You're just trying to level your power up, and that's the game, Whereas Spider-Man, if you're going to play that, you need to play it. You're playing it for the story, ultimately.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, so that's all I've really played this week, other than the demo. And
I bought two things, and so I wanted to give Metal Gear Solid 5 another chance, or I wanted to play through it again, but I didn't want to play it on PS4. So I bought the definitive edition on PS5, or digitally on PS4, and it comes with Ground Zeroes and Phantom Pain as a bundle. So I'm going to play through Ground Zeroes. I started to play through Ground Zeroes again, but that's like a short game, and it's only $11.99 right now. So I'm going to play through that, and then give those two games, because I've only ever played through them once each. So I'm going to do that. And then I also bought, but I haven't started yet, the Telltale Expanse game. So I'm excited to play that.
Ooh, I didn't even realize that was a thing.
Yeah, that's been out. It came out last year, and it got decent reviews. But
I'm about 200 pages into the 6th book, I think, of the series.
Yeah, this is I think it's only $15.99 for $15.99 for the base, $17.99, and it comes with a bonus episode.
Ooh,
but
that might be something I'm interested in.
It's what is the belter, the chick who I only watched the show.
Naomi?
Not Naomi. The other belter. She was kind of the aggressive.
Pa, is it?
Is it Pa?
No,
I don't know.
She dies.
No.
No. The Pella's the ship.
Remember?
Yeah,
I remember
I know the one.
She was pinned. I remember in the episode.
Anderson Dawes,
She's just a
Yeah.
badass. She's a badass. Anyway, it's kind of about her, and it's like a separate story based with her and her team on her ship, and she voices the character
Nice.
on the game. So I've been wanting to play it, so it was on sale right now, so I picked that up. So I'm looking forward to play through that, but haven't started
I
it
might
yet.
have a look at that as well. That sounds right up my alley, considering I'm reading the books.
So yeah, I think is that all I've been. Look, we have 4 viewers.
Nice.
You say Destiny, and they just come out of the woodwork. I don't know. Anyway, it's funny, but yeah, that's. I've also played some Diablo 4. Because it's the new loot season. They reworked everything, so you're more better loot, and
I think I just burnt myself out on Diablo 3. I tried Diablo 4, and it just felt like. I think it felt like the Spider-Man thing, where it's like
I could see that.
I feel like I played this game, and I probably played number 3 way too much to the point where it's like number 4 is just like, no, I don't want to do this anymore.
So I just never put any time into Diablo 2 really, or Diablo 3 at all, and I kind of play them a little bit, but they just never grabbed me. And for some reason, 4 really grabbed me.
I think I got like 60 or 100 hours in like Diablo 3. I mean, it's like, yeah, I know that's not that much.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
But by the same,
what am I at?
It ain't that much considering I'm on 400 plus for Rocket League.
Well, there you go. Yeah, that's a lot. That's more than me. Jesus.
But by the same token, it's like, I think I just burnt myself out on the loot mechanic of it, and I tried to play 4, and the story just didn't grab me at this point.
Did you buy it, or are you just talking about the beta?
I think I played the beta, and
I like it. I like the grittier look. Diablo 3 I never really liked because it's just a little more cartoony looking.
Yeah.
And I like the kind of more dark, gritty look of. And I don't know. I've really enjoyed. I put like 140 hours in it so far, but
nice.
And I'm still.
Well, I'm not saying it's not. It's probably not a good game. It's just like more. I've spent a lot of time in that world. I'm ready for something different.
Yeah. No, I get that 100%. I would say I'm not really playing Diablo 4 as much as, seriously. I think I'm just slowly grinding. I'm just trying to get to a level 100, really, with my. I've tried
as long as you're having fun.
A couple of the seasons and stuff, but it is fun to just kind of like turn everything off and just kind of like kill hordes of enemies. I don't know. It's kind of fun.
That's the other thing. There is something fun about just stepping into a game that you're familiar with, and that there's no real learning curve. You just like step in, and you kick ass and take names.
But I think it's that game was the reason I went back to Destiny. Really. Because you just sit there and you kind of mindlessly kill a bazillion dudes. It's like, well, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to shoot a bazillion dudes. And I was just like, all right, well, let's see if we can get mindlessly back into Destiny 2. And I guess it takes. So I don't know if I'll be going back to Diablo anytime soon. But
yeah, it is a fine line on those PvE first person shooters, like making it feel satisfying to take them down, take the bad guys down. I think Destiny does a really good job of that by kind of combining the hit points from like Diablo and stuff, so you can actually see how much damage you're doing.
Right. Just to keep talking about Destiny, I have this favorite gun now that I use all the time that I just really like. It's an exotic. And today was the first point where I was like, am I going to spend real money on this game? Because they have a skin for it that makes it look even cooler.
You've got to make your fleshlight look cooler.
Right. And I was just like, do I spend? I didn't do it yet. But it's like, man, that version, I mean, it already looks cool, but this version is even cooler. I don't know. I was just like, God, what is dumb? How dumb? I'm trying to like fight that off. I'm trying not to do it. I mean,
if you find in a week you're still using the same weapon, why not?
I know, right?
How much is it?
Well, it's 700 silver. So here's the problem. So it's
How
like,
much is it in real USD?
so 500 silver is 4.99. So then 1,000 silver would be $10.
Yep.
So I'd have to spend $10 to get 700. The cool thing about spending $10 is they give you a bonus 100. So you get 1,100 for $10. So I'll have like 400 extra to.
Can you grind silver in the game?
No, because it's purely just cosmetics. It's nothing for anything else. It's like purely cosmetic stuff. So like silver, like yeah, there's nothing.
So you're in that like halfway spot where it's like, to get it, I need to spend more than the actual thing, which means I'll probably need like,
Well, this is how it works, Dave.
No, I know, I totally get how it works, but by the same token, you're like, if I could just buy 700, I probably would do it right now.
Well, you're right. There's that, but like, so I'm gonna game it a different way. I do that. The video game players, whatever the light, what is it fucking called? I do the thing when you, what is this fucking called? It's the PlayStation Stars. It's free to do, and you.
Oh yeah,
you do
when
campaigns,
you buy, like games and complete stuff.
You complete stuff, you get 100 points, and so currently I have $5. So I just need to get. Yeah. So from buying games and completing campaigns on here, I have $5. So I just need another $5.
Grind it out a different way.
This way, I'll get free $10, and then I will. That's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to get this for free-ish. Not by
so fucking cheap.
It's not. What are you talking about? You're cheap. What are you? Don't fucking come at me.
Cheap,
don't come at me.
I'm just laughing at like.
All right, fine.
Because this is exactly what I would do. Yeah, I'm like, there's nothing about what you're doing that isn't what I would do. It's just like when you take a step back from it, it's like, why don't you?
Oh, when you see someone as okay, I get it. Man, you are really cheap, Ian. What do you call what? Pot kettle?
Yeah, exactly. I'm not saying you're not, but by the same token, it's like
it sounds cheap. Yes, I get it.
I think it's just cheap. It
just sounds
like
it's so gamey.
Wow, this is a lot of effort.
It's a max. Well, I already have $5 free. You're right. So I could basically only spend $5 on this thing. But I think I can probably get. I'm gonna buy Final Shape, so that'll probably give me a certain amount of points, and then then at the end of June, I'm getting the what is it, Elden Ring DLC. That'll probably get me that 500, and then I'll have it. So that by the end of the month, I will have it. Magic, see?
Yep. and that's the perfect way of doing it. It's like you're buying stuff you're already gonna buy, and
Sony rewards me for it.
Yeah, you'll get this little perk in a game that you're enjoying that you were thinking about getting anyway, and yeah.
Anyway, Dave, you should think about doing it because then you could buy your little $3.99 game for free.
I know.
It's a lot of work to do. It's a lot of stupid. You have to. I mean, but there's times when I'm just sitting on my phone in front of the television, and I'll check the campaigns, and then
you're buying stuff that you were going to buy anyway. I mean, for the price you were going to pay anyway. So, I mean,
but it's not always buying stuff. Sometimes it's just like, play a multiplayer game or start up. I don't know. Start up what generic game could I come like Spider-Man.
Log into this game, yeah.
Yeah, you get 50 points. You don't even have to play it. You just have to start it up and then shut it down. Sometimes it requires me to install something, start it, close it, delete it, but campaign complete. It's stupid. It's like, I get it. It's cheap. I get it, but they allow it. So, anywho, wow, that went on a tangent.
No, it's not cheap. It's like, it's just, I don't know. Would you buy? Would you buy the thing anyway?
I would buy the thing anyway.
Yeah.
And
But the other thing is, you're buying the other things anyway as well. So it's like you may as well,
right.
it's not terrible to get something in addition to the things you're buying. So
Truthfully, what's going to happen is I already have $5 because of it. So I'll probably just spend $5 and then I'll have the $10 for the, so I only spent $5 on it, but
no, that's fair enough.
But and I do that all the time.
I mean, you buy a lot of online games. It makes perfect sense that you would be in the Sony Points program because, I mean,
I'm just glad I get rewarded. I mean, I've bought in so many stupid games from that. I must have earned at least $30-$40 by now. It's cool. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like a rebate on your credit card.
Exactly.
You can buy the stuff you're gonna buy anyway with cash, or you can get like 1% back. Or
Unfortunately,
2% back.
I've spent it on some pretty stupid shit like waifu, or I mean, I bought, because they give you $5, so I have $5. What cheap ass games can I get?
Yeah.
What $1.99 wonderful?
Yeah. It is amazing when you go down to that level on the PlayStation Store and see what's down there.
I shouldn't say shitty. Waifu, whatever that is, was a great game.
But you go down there and it's like,
oh yeah,
there's some truly great games that obviously cost a lot of money to make, and then
that are buried in there.
Shovelware.
Oh, there's some awful shit. Like, how did this get on here?
Yeah, you're like, wow, is it really?
You look at
like
not only that, but you look at the thumbnails. Like, did they do this in Microsoft Paint? Like, it's like, what is this?
Yeah, you're like, how? Like, some of them you look at and you're like, is this just a tax write-off or some kind of scam to say we're a video game company?
And how does it get past? Like, who's intaking this? Like, they don't.
Yeah,
they just allow it.
It was like that off-road game I played the demo of like a month or two ago. It was just like this game, like someone had obviously put some effort into it, but not enough effort.
Right.
It's like, how does this get released? And how, as a company, you've got to realize this isn't going to sell because it's crap.
Was it on Steam already?
No, it was on PlayStation.
That's it. That's the only place it was out on.
It might be on Steam as well, yeah. So I suppose maybe that's what it is. But I was just like, really? Because, I don't know, if I got into the games industry and I wanted to produce games, I'd be a bit embarrassed to release something so bad.
For sure.
It's like, okay, my studio is going to be known for this pretty much unplayable, shitty first game. Because I understand, like, your first game, it might not be the biggest open world or the most mind-blowing story or whatever, but it should be pretty easy to make a kind of 8-bit style game, because those games were made by, like, 2 or 3 coders.
Right.
Someone for graphics, someone for sound, and maybe someone for the game engine.
Well, right. You look at Vampire Survivors. That was just all one dude. The game is super basic. Sold millions.
I mean, and there's still the good games. It's like, there is a game there.
Right.
Just
you gotta wonder, like, well, just put it together and then you should release it. It's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
The hopes that they get some money.
Having said that, if I just spent some time on something and someone comes to me and says, "I'll give you $5,000 to release it," I might be like, take my name off it and sold.
Right. Or just a different name or whatever.
Yeah, it's like
work on that masterpiece of, like, potato sack racing or whatever it was.
Gosh, yeah. I would love to read an article about that game.
Like, just the whole documentary.
Yeah, I mean, I really
curious.
Yeah, I'm not curious about the game at all.
And then the goal to sell it for how much they sell it for.
Yeah, and like I would love for them to open up the books so I could see, like, did this actually make money, or
We should just like start cold calling them.
or
Hey,
how did it make money? Perhaps
we'd really like to do a documentary on your studio and your game.
Yeah,
That's funny.
no, I just feel like that would be fascinating.
For sure.
It would be. I mean, for a lot of these like very low budget studios and some of these games that get released, it's like it would be really fat. Maybe that's what I'll look up, see if there's some good documentaries on them. Because, I mean, everyone who's in the game industry, I don't feel like they want to put out terrible product.
Right.
A lot of these things are a labor of love. It's not usually that cynical. It's kind of like the reason we get bad games is because they run out of time, run out of money, etc., etc. But it's generally not because the people involved have any malice. So
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, you gotta wonder, like, did they just hate gamers? They just want to, like, I don't know. It's wild.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if there's nothing else, I haven't played anything else or done anything else.
Nope.
Well,
You'll be Destiny 2 in for the next month, probably.
Probably. Until Elden Ring, which is end of the month, so. Alrighty then. Couch co-optionals then. Dave, have anything cool that you want to talk about?
Yeah, I watched Godzilla -1, and I really enjoyed it on Netflix. It was a good reset of like a Godzilla monster movie. It was pretty decent and very entertaining. The time flew by. The special effects were really good. And
Oscar caliber.
oh yeah, I was quite surprised. It was. I think the way they succeeded was to go less is more, if you know what I mean. It's like
right.
Sometimes I feel like my eyes are gonna bleed when I watch a Marvel movie and the special effects and something much more epic about like a giant Godzilla. Although I don't really get how he floats on his butt in the water. That was the whole thing. But that's not a special effects thing. That's just like, how does he's out in the middle of the ocean and like Godzilla's floating on his butt. You can he's floating above his stomach. Kind of thing.
He's just He's just like farting.
Yeah.
Propelling. His tail.
Yeah.
His tail is treading water.
Apparently. But yeah, I can see how they set it up for a sequel. So
cool. Awesome.
Pretty fun. How about you, Ian?
What was I? I didn't. You know what? I didn't even think about that. All this we talk about preparation and doing all this stuff, and then did I even? What did I recommend last week? Oh, I did Steven Wilson Jr. last week. So for the movie I'm going to recommend, I'll do a movie as well this week. Monkey Man. Dev Patel's action film that he stars in and also directs. And it's
lives up to the hype.
It's pretty badass. It's pretty fucking reviews, badass, dude. Yeah, if you can find it or rent it or he's a proper badass, man. Like he's always played these kind of indie characters or sweethearts or underdogs. I mean, he's an underdog in this, but man, he's proper badass in this movie, and really enjoyed it. Really violent, pretty awesome.
Yeah,
and this is his directorial debut. Really good job. Like the fight scenes, like it's proper John Wick level shit. Like old school John Wick, not kind of over the top, but there's a few kind of. It gets kind of a little too mystical in some areas because he's kind of. I mean, he's obviously going into his roots, some of the Indian kind of heritage stuff, but it gets kind of there's some kind of like fantasyal stuff that goes a little too long. I kind of wondered where there's a dog in the movie. I kind of wondered what happened to the dog. Like it kind of like is like a plot device.
It's not like
it's not like
John Wick. You killed my
no,
dog.
no. He uses the dog for something else, and then it's like, oh, I thought you loved the dog. And then there's another character in the movie that is kind of funny, is kind of used the same way. He's like kind of brought in to be used a certain way, and then he shows up again briefly, but then in kind of this heroic way, but then you never see him again. So there's a little like kind of, but it's just action
loose
movie,
ends is what
little
you're saying,
loose end action movie bullshit. But overall, really enjoyed it. A lot of fun. I'd recommend it. Of all the kind of John Wick clones there's been, this is probably the best.
Yeah, I mean it seems like it gets good reviews.
It looks fucking. There's some great looking shots. I mean, there's some great shit that looks cool.
Looks like it's only available to rent online right now for $20.
Oh, so I must have watched it on Plex. Justin or my cousin ripped it off, and I watched it on Plex. So that's how I saw it.
Nice.
Cut it out. Don't censor that part. But yeah, good movie. Recommend.
Sweet. So it's on the Ian recommendation list.
Yes. Alrighty. Trivia? What kind of trivia we got?
Can you guess the game?
Oh, we're gonna
read the back of the box.
Can Ian guess the game?
Welcome to the neighborhood. Any guesses yet?
Welcome to the neighborhood. That's it.
I'll carry on reading. I just wondered.
Okay, welcome to the neighborhood. Well, go ahead. Continue on. I have a guess.
From the creators of Tekken and Soul Calibur comes the ultimate street brawler.
Oh, is this just Urban Rain?
Ding, 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 ding.
I was going to guess initially because Welcome to the Neighborhood, and then knowing you, I was going to think South Park Stick of Truth.
Oh, yeah, that would have been a good guess.
But then I was like, I don't want to commit to that. That might be too easy. And then when you said Tekken and Street, and it's like, oh, it's clearly
one of my many copies of Urban Rain.
Just this giant box of this game I have.
It's my retirement fund.
Yeah, right.
What is it now?
I don't know.
When I was buying it, it was $6 or $7 a copy, and for some reason I ended
What is it now,
2 or 3
Dave? What is it
copies.
now? You should look.
Last time I looked, it was $40 a copy.
No way. What?
Yeah, it was silly, but you know. I mean, you think about it, like PlayStation 2 is 20 years ago now, so all those people that played it as teenagers are now got good jobs and
I mean, I have my one copy. You're saying my one copy is worth $40?
Gosh, I mean, you should look at some of those. Yeah, $40.
Jesus, that's crazy. I definitely didn't.
Wow. Urban Rain, Sony complete in box with manual tested Mink disc, $104. Someone's got it on for. I'm like, my disc is not mint. Mine's like scratched a little. I'm sure it works, but
dude, mine is like almost mint, dude. Like mine, I don't think anyone ever.
Second copy.
I don't think anyone played mine. Yeah, mine is like flawless. Like I could wrap it in plastic and probably get away with it.
I mean, it's just amazing to me because this was not a game that was particularly well loved at the time or particularly expensive, and
just my old friend Jason McIntosh who likes dumb
40,
games.
$50 all day long, really. I mean, people pay $25 just for the disc. Yeah,
dude, I think I got this for $10.
Oh yeah, I think one of mine has a $6.99 sticker on it.
That's wild.
And, I mean, don't get me wrong, I really love the game, but I don't necessarily think it's worth that much.
Well, I have this, and this is worth like $100 and some odd bucks. So,
yeah, I always find it. I mean, talking about games that are worth something, I always find it funny that like GoldenEye 007 is worth anything on cartridge because it's like every N64 only had a copy of that, as far as I could tell.
And it's
so
unplayable. It's unplayable. Ugh.
it hasn't aged very well, has it? But
You can still play Urban Rain and have a fucking good ass time.
yeah, but it's not the same about the Jason stomping, is it?
It doesn't matter. I mean, we haven't played it since. We should probably play it one of these days.
Yeah, we should. I've got a couple of multi-taps and all the rest of it.
All right.
But,
All right, let's get out of here.
yeah, let's skedaddle.
Well, Dave, I want to thank you for joining me here so I didn't have to do this by myself. Woot! This is the Couch Co-op Show. We get together every week on Sunday at 9 o'clock. Live, like we are right now. Oh, our 4 people went away. Now we're just 2. We stopped talking about Destiny and we started talking about Urban Rain. Classic. You can find our podcast on all the major podcast platforms, which we've had a nice gradual uptick in listeners again, which is nice. There was a while we were just kind of like sinking. It's like, ooh. But, quality content. Not more content, quality content. That's the key. Quality over quantity.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, you guys can reach out to us if you want to. You can go over to twitch.tv/The Couch Club Show and be on the show with us in the Twitch chat. Or you can just, send us an email at thecouchcoopshow@gmail.com. We're on socials. Search Couch Co-op. You'll find us. It's pretty easy. Again, I want to thank Dave for joining me here on the couch. For Couch Co-op, I'm Ian, reminding you to please be excellent to each other. Diddle-diddle-diddle-doo.